Hello and welcome to 10 Requests Live, where we box it all out with interesting topics of discourse, sharing knowledge, and watering it down with good music requested by you, our amazing and lovely audience. Yes, it's 10 Requests Live again, and on today's episode, I remain your humble host, the musical Santa, as always, Daniel Ubang. That's my name. And on today's episode, we will be looking at the topic, the influence of self-confidence. What has self-confidence led you to do recently? What has it enabled you to execute? That's what we're looking at today, the influence of self-confidence. And don't forget, 10 Requests Live is a show that allows you to make musical requests, birthday shout out to your loved ones, your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, relatives, as much as your girlfriends, wedding anniversaries to that relative of yours, to that friend of yours. You can also send, graduation shout outs, whatever you wish to do on the show. We are here to grant every of your musical requests as long as they are Nigerian songs and have musical videos. We would grant them on this show. And I, the musical Santa, I am here to do justice to every of your musical requests. Yes, that's why I'm here on the show, to do justice to your request. And don't forget, follow us on all social media platforms at 10 Urban TV. And before I was going about, coming to, present this topic, my friend was like, I understand that overconfidence is when the individual starts to express arrogance and pride and all of that. But what is the lack of confidence or lack of self-confidence? And I said, well, I'm going to leave that to my audience to answer. So you guys go on our Instagram page at 10 Urban TV and let me know what your answer to that question is. I will leave it to you guys. And also don't forget, for those of you who are still asking, what is this bead doing on my hand? I am a certified Nigerian cultural ambassador, standing in for the 100 hours of marathon drama that is to happen in our fatherland and for the glory of fatherland. Don't forget, I will be indulging you as we move on. And also remember that as we go on this quick break, I will come back to dissect the topic, the influence of self-confidence. Stay with me. Yes, welcome back from that break. I was trying to dissect the topic, the influence of self-confidence. Yes, I was saying, what has self-confidence led you to do recently? What has it done for you recently? Has it enabled you to take that risk you were scared of taking initially? Has it enabled you to start that entrepreneurial enterprise you've been scared to jump into? What has self-confidence done for you recently? I know a lot of you have been asking, what do we have in the bag for you? That is what I have in the bag for you today. I have in the bag the influence of self-confidence. And yes, a lot of us will be asking, what is self-confidence? Self-confidence is the belief in your own abilities. It is believing that, yes, I can go through the actions of my life and achieve results. That's self-confidence. Self-confidence requires you to believe in your abilities. And at every point where you come in contact with self-doubt, negative thoughts, self-confidence is that guy that comes to erase the slate and gives you a better playing field so that you can come out assertive, decisive, and even more confident of yourself. Yes, self-confidence entails the individual, being able to move out of its comfort zone. That's what self-confidence does for you. It helps you being capable of moving out of your comfort zone. Because a lot of the time, you find out that, you're scared, you're, over-calculating the situation, and how would it be if you take this action and you fail? You're not bothered about the outcome. Self-confidence requires that, I don't know what the outcomes are going to be like, or I understand what the outcome is going to be like, but this is what I would, arrive at the end of the day. This is what I would trust myself to, accept the outcome. I would accept whatever outcome comes out, but that will not hinder me from taking the action I need to take. Yes, of course, you will give yourself that confidence by taking the actions you need to take to achieve the result you need to achieve. A lot of people take actions. A lot of confident people take actions because they believe in their abilities. They believe that their abilities are capable of yielding the result that will, advance their lives or take them to a new stage of life. Yes, a lot of the time, some people will ask, is self-confidence, inbuilt in the individual from time of birth? No, nobody is born with self-confidence. Not a single person, not me, not your teacher, not your pastor, not your dad, not your mom. Self-confidence is believing in your abilities. It is one that we learn and establish through life. It is not inbuilt. It doesn't come as follow come. No, it is one you learn and establish through life. That's self-confidence. Self-confidence requires you, going about your activities, trusting that the result will be great, but first taking the action that is required. Don't sleep on your abilities. Self-confident people portray certain characteristics, one of which is being very assertive. They are very assertive in the terms of they understand, they create boundaries. They understand their boundary. They don't go out of their boundaries. They don't let people cross their boundaries. They also, learn to say no when necessary. They do that a lot. Assertive people know their boundaries, know when to say, I think this is enough. That is self-confidence. You don't sit in a situation where you're being dampened or your self-esteem is being played around with, and you don't have the confidence enough to speak up and say, you see, I don't like what's going on. I'm not happy with the situation. I am saying no to this thing that's happening right now. That's self-confidence. Self-confidence also makes the individual, very, very decisive. You can now say it makes the individual to take certain decisions and also helps the individual to take calculated, decisions. In that way, yielding the result that the individual wants to achieve. Because if you're not decisive, if you're contemplating if to take that decision or not, if you're overthinking the situation, there's that tendency that you'll be swept away by fear or anxiety. And what self-confidence does for you, it helps you lessen your anxiety. It's not the absence of fear, obviously. It is not the absence of fear. Fear is there. It is the ability to understand what the fear is about and be able to subdue the fear to achieve the action you need to achieve. Setting out certain prerequisite for action. That is what self-confidence helps you to achieve. It helps you set the prerequisite for action. It even boosts your morale. That's why a lot of the time they say certain things you need to do to keep your self-esteem includes, being very, confident about your abilities and being very, understanding that, you cannot control the outcome. But if the outcome is this, you are ready to accept what the outcome is. The moment you have that mindset of saying, I accept whatever the outcome is going to become, that moment you have built for yourself a very, very, you find out that you exude confidence at ease without even, trying. Because I understand what the situation is. It's not about walking a particular way or, keeping your chest up there or, saying I'm capable of doing everything. No, that's not what self-confidence entails. It means understanding the situation clearly, understanding the outcome and saying, accept whatever the outcome is going to be. In that way, you would be able to, portray that confidence in the face of anything. You would see yourself exuding confidence that people will be like, where did he get this confidence from? And sometimes your confidence will even challenge other people's confidence. It will help you be open in office meetings. You find out that self-confidence allows you to, open up to, taking new challenges. With self-confidence, you will be able to say, you know what, this thing I go do, I'm capable of doing this thing. And then you would, take the steps necessary to taking the action to achieving that result that you are capable of, achieving, because you have been able to build internally a well-rounded self-esteem, which helps you to also take risk. People who have self-confidence are capable of taking risks. They are not scared. They take calculated risk, smart risk that, help them to advance in life. And sometimes when you find yourself delving into a new area in your life, maybe something you've not done before, you find out that you lack the confidence to go into it. But what keeps you afloat is courage. And courage is born out of the self-confidence you've built for yourself over time. And how do you get that self-confidence? It is your faith in your abilities. You have faith in your abilities. I am saying, you know what? I believe in my abilities. Yes, I am capable of doing this thing and I will go forth to do it and achieve that result. That is what it is. It is believing that you can take that risk, calculated risk to achieve results that will advance or project your life forward. That's what confidence is. Confidence and self-confidence entails the individual not, letting negative thoughts weigh you down, not letting, circumstances or setback keep you down. The moment you find yourself, setback trying to hold you down, the thing that pulls you back up, the thing that helps you bounce back to taking action is self-confidence. That's what it does. The moment you find yourself entering a field that is unknown to you, there's that tendency that you will be scared, you will have anxiety. But what keeps you in check and helps you to, stay steadfast with your ability is self-confidence. It is, the ability to trust in your own strength. It is having that, that gut to pick yourself up from setbacks and, down times. It helps you at points where you have doubts and negative self-talk to yourself. It helps you escape those states, but it doesn't just come at ease. It's not something that will just come to you like a flash or a reflex action. It's something that you harness through time. It's something that is learned and established through life. Yes, self-confidence, as I said, is one of those abilities that would help you in times of challenges, in times where you find yourself. It can also even help you build your interpersonal relationship, because the moment you find yourself being self-confident, you find it easy to give out praises to other people. You find it easy to compliment other people. Sometimes they might not even give you back the praise or the compliment, but in giving people's individuals that compliment or that praise, you are giving yourself or establishing for yourself a form of confidence, which is internal for yourself, which helps you exude a form of self-worth and believe in your own abilities. So self-confidence is very necessary as it helps the individual. Recently, I saw a video of a guy sitting by the side of a plane, and a woman was asking this individual and saying, "Sir, please, can you let my daughter have access to the window because it helps her reduce her anxiety and all of that." This man said something that amazed me. He denied access to that opportunity because he did. Can I pick up? Yeah. Yes. So this man denied the kid the chance of sitting to the window. The man told the mother of the child, he said, "Sometimes I want you to let your child learn from this situation that he or she cannot get what he or she wants at every point in time. Life does not work that way." So parents, I understand that you want to, have your child in that protected bubble of love. I understand that. I understand you have to do that for them in order to build their self-esteem over time. But sometimes learn to step back and let the child experience his or her own disappointment. In that way, they'll build coping skill and be able to, understand what disappointment is like. And from that situation, consistently when they do that by themselves, you not interfering, letting them experience disappointment by themselves, over time will build a form of coping skill, and that coping skill would establish for them self-confidence. Yes, it will establish for them self-confidence, which they will later, be thankful to you for letting them experience. Because at the end of the day, life will be experienced by them, not you all the time. They will not be with you all through life. So let them experience these situations themselves. Let them experience it. Let them, experience disappointment, experience downtime, and let them find a way to cope by themselves. In that way, they will be building, coping skill, which is in a way establishing a form of a base for self-confidence. Yes, self-confidence is very important. A lot of our parents don't teach us that. When you're crying, they say you're a cry baby. Instead of letting the individual understand that, crying is an emotional state that is part of the child and must happen. And so if it happens, let the child experience this feeling, but let the child understand that bouncing back is a very important aspect of his or her life, because self-confidence is built as a base for us to succeed in anything we do in life. And that's that on everything as regards the influence of self-confidence. And let's head out to listen to some of the musical requests sent in by our audience. A lot of them have been going to our Instagram and sending in their musical requests. Let's go look at it. Stay with me. Yes, it is time for musical requests. Our audience have been visiting our Instagram page and sending in their musical requests. For those who are sending in through Facebook, I'm also looking at your requests. And those sending in via Twitter, I'm also looking at your requests. Don't forget, it is at 10 Urban TV to make every musical request, and I, the Musical Santa, will grant every of your musical requests. Yes, this is coming from Ifnaya. Ifnaya is asking the Musical Santa to please play her Single Again by Harmonize. Ifnaya, why do you want Single Again? Has your man broken your heart? Okay, you will get single again for you, Ifunanya. I'm single again. Oh, I'm not single. I'm not single. That's coming up for Ifunanya. Single again. Yes, this is coming from Johnson. Johnson is saying, Daniel, it's been a great time on your show. I love every bit of your show. You're always enlightening me about stuff to build my inner self. I give you kudos for that. Oh, great, Johnson. Thank you for that one. But he wants us to play for him a song by Black Sherry featuring Burna Boy called The Second Sermon. You will get The Second Sermon coming up for you, Johnson. And this is coming from Chineye. Chineye is saying, Daniel, it's been a tough time in our country. Things are going west. People are unhappy. For that reason, I want you to play me this fabulous song from Files, the Bad Guy, featuring Vector, Mr. Yakubu. Okay. Chineye wants me to play Mr. Yakubu, Emma Shebi Bad Guy. Mr. Yakubu, Emma Shebi Fraudster. You will get Mr. Yakubu coming up for you, Chineye. Yes. So this next one is coming from Godwin. Godwin is saying, Daniel, I want to just relax. I want to just relax. Just play me Loaded by Ashake featuring Tiwa Savage. I'm loaded. I'm loaded. You'll get that coming up for you, Godwin. Stay with us. And this is coming from Emmanuel. Emmanuel is saying, Daniel, your dressing is always on point. I wish I could take your chain. Oh, brother, don't do that. But if you come on the show, I will grant you that request. I will give you the chain if I have to. He's asking us to please play him a song from Joeboy, Sip Alcohol. Okay, you will have Sip Alcohol by Joeboy coming up for you. And last but not the least, this is James. James is saying, Daniel, my girlfriend's birthday is today, and I want you to play any special song for her. Wow, James, since you're asking for any special song, we will play a special song for your girlfriend since today is a special day. Stay with us as we go on to grant all the musical requests by our great and lovely audience. Don't touch the dial. Welcome back from that lovely musical break. Our audience out there have sent their musical requests and we've granted all of their requests. And I enjoyed the particular song, Mr. Yakubu, Emma Shebi Bad Guy. Mr. Yakubu, Emma Shebi Fraudster. Was a good song requested by one of our audience. I loved it and I was jamming to that song here in the studio. I trust you enjoyed yourself with the song as well. But we were dissecting the topic, the influence of self-confidence. What has self-confidence led you to do recently? What has self-confidence influenced you to do? Has it helped you get out of that anxiety that you're always finding yourself before you take your test in exam, or before you take that before you take that exam, or before you take that test? Sorry, can I pick up from there? Before you take that test or before you take that exam, what has self-confidence done for you to enable you, bounce into the exam hall and say, guy, now A be this paper, now B be this paper. So what has confidence done for you lately that, you're proud of? You're like, yeah, because self-confidence will lead you to, exploiting new grounds. You will not be scared to exploit new grounds, because with self-confidence, you find out that, at points where you find yourself down, you need guts to get yourself back up. Self-confidence is the base of that guts that gets you to stand back and take actions. That's self-confidence doing the magic for you on the background. Yes, a lot of us will ask, what is self-confidence? What has self-confidence been doing in the lives of people? Without self-confidence, I said it earlier, you cannot make any significant progress in life, in any area of your life. You cannot. If you don't have self-confidence, you will not believe in your abilities to even come before anybody to say, oh, I think I can do this job. I think I'm capable. I'm the right guy for this job. Because somebody called Raphael Waldo Emerson said, please believe in thyself, because that string is an iron string that every other person senses. If you believe in yourself, it is an aura that can be sensed by every other person around you. So that string is one that is believed by a lot of people. So believe in yourself, trust in your abilities, because without it, you cannot make any significant progress. Yes, a lot of time people will say, oh, how do I check myself and know that I'm self-confident? Self-confidence is you being able to, in the midst of fear, subdue fear and go on to take the action you need to take. That's where you have to find a way to consistently exercise yourself in the midst of fear. Anytime you find fear is important, because fear helps us, to guide our steps against danger and dangerous situations. Fear is what guides us. It is a checkmate parameter that tells you, oh, this thing you're about to do is either risky, or it's just a sensor that tells you that whatever you're about to do, hey, check it. It keeps a check. It's a check paradigm. It helps you keep a check consistently, but don't let it subdue you from taking action. If it subdues you, that's you having low self-confidence. And in that state, you find yourself trying to please people, trying to, talk to people to, get them to win, to accept your opinion or to accept why you failed in a particular thing. No, don't give excuses. Just go on and say, you know what, I think I'm capable. Believe in your abilities, trust in your abilities, although consistently practice in the midst of fear. That's why I said fear is important, because without fear being present, you cannot exercise your confidence. You need fear to know how confident you are. You need it to, in the midst of it, constantly train your mind and say, oh, you know what, I need to shift my perspective. Every time you are capable of shifting your perspective from the situation on ground and exercising that mindset of, oh, I am capable, you will constantly know that your subconscious is taken from that, consistently taken from that. And by taking from that, it will build a new base of perception. At the time you find yourself about to take that exam, about to take that test, you see yourself, man, going in with that confidence saying, man, guy, I'm acing this paper. I am going to clear this paper with a B. So it helps you exude a form of, internal belief. It is important. It is very vital for you to achieve anything. So self-confidence requires you to consistently put this skill, which is, picked up through life, learned through life, and established only through life. It is calling you to say, you know what? I can visualize myself in that state of being confident. The moment you can put yourself in that mindset, relax your nerves, and understand that, oh, fear is only a check parameter. It's only something that keeps a check. Let me understand what actions are lacking that is making me scared to take this action. What steps are lacking that's hindering me from taking that move? Because the moment you are not able to, exploit new grounds or, test new stuff, that is you finding yourself in a state of low self-confidence. And as I said earlier, I said a lot of you would, want to practice self-confidence, but the insecurities you feel internally, the fear of the unknown, and I said it, you cannot control the outcome. Accept that whatever the outcome is going to become, you are fine with it. In that way, you see yourself, blowing off a high sense of self-confidence. That's what you find yourself, exuding. You'll be exuding an aura of confidence that people will be like, where is he building this from? Yes, some of the characteristics of self-confident people is that they know how to say no. They know how to say no gracefully because they need to secure their time. If you are not able to say no gracefully, I don't think you'll be able to safeguard your time. You'll be saying yes to a lot of people. That's what I meant by saying, don't be a people's pleaser. Because if you have low self-esteem or low self-confidence, you find yourself, becoming a people's pleaser. Because you want to appeal to this guy, your own time is at risk. But self-confident people know how to say no gracefully and secure their time for their own betterment or use. Yes, another thing that self-confident people also know how to do is they tend to, assume a very good posture. In times where you're talking to your boss or your friend or colleagues, try to sit upright or, stand up properly. In that way, you would appear, confident before your peers or your boss. And also learn to, some people say, I'm shy, I don't want to, have eye contact. No, you have to learn to have eye contact when conversating or when interacting with people. That's another way of establishing self-confidence. And I said it, don't forget that another characteristic of self-confident people is that they give out praises to other people. They don't mind if the praise is coming back to them, but they give it out because in turn, subconsciously, it's also helping boost their own confidence. Another thing you also need to look at is whenever you are feeling low confidence, low self-confidence, learn to look back at the journey you've come through. Look back at how far you've come. Learn to understand that, oh my guy, I don't come through a long journey, I don't reach here. Don't look at the cup as half or entirely empty. Look at the cup as half full. In that mindset, that is me saying shift your perspective. Understand that, there's a strong connection between a positive mental health to self-confidence. And that's why it is important to not look at the cup as entirely empty, but half full. So shift your perspective so that you can accommodate and build or boost your self-confidence. That's what it is. Yes, self-confidence has shown that in everything you do, you need to clarify your goals. If you clarify your goals, you will now be, more self-confident to go about achieving those goals. If you can clarify your goals, you'll be more confident, to chasing those goals and, taking the actions necessary to achieve those goals. Also, you need to look out for the fact that as much as the situation can be, scary, you need to evaluate what is really your fear in this situation. What is scaring me? What am I scared about? Put your fear into perspective. In that way, you'll find out that, it's not really what it is. It's not really what it is. I'm coming. Yes, okay, it's not really what it is. Okay, let's go on. It's not really what it is because self-confidence helps the individual sustain a high sense of self-worth. That's the beauty of self-confidence. It also helps the individual, as I said earlier, clarify his or her goals so that you know what point of action you need to take. It has also helped individuals in terms of interpersonal relationship. When interacting with other people, you need to understand that you must, learn to smile in between your conversation. Also learn to, pass your points with a smile behind it. By the time you do that consistently, you find out that your self-confidence will not be just, in that small corner where it is. It will be expanding just like your wild smile is. So learn to consistently put yourself in that state of celebrating the journey you've come through. You've come through a long journey. Don't look at yourself and say, why I can't achieve this now. You've come through a long journey. You've gotten here. You can do it. That's what self-confidence is about. It's telling yourself, believing in your own abilities, having faith in your abilities. And that's on the influence of self-esteem. We've been doing a lot of talk on self-esteem, and I have been enjoying myself telling my audience, you out there, about how to boost your self-esteem, which I said you must learn to have a good posture, learn to put smile behind your interaction, learn to compliment people, also learn to clarify your goals. Don't forget that in building your self-confidence, you must learn to put your fear in perspective. And with self-confidence, you are able to delve into, newer field, explore newer areas of life. You are able to leave your comfort zone. It enables you to take that bold step where necessary and achieve significant progress through life. So self-confidence is a very influential factor in our lives and should not be looked down upon. Thank you for staying with me on this episode of 10 Requests Live. It's been fun, and don't forget to follow us at 10 Urban TV. And also follow me on all social media platforms at DocBang on Twitter, at PheroOsh1 on Instagram, and DangBang07 on TikTok. I follow back for sure. Stay with me till I meet you again on another episode of 10 Requests Live. Stay alive.